Greetings to you, Crocodile Army. This is the video that I had hoped I would have to make, and that I promised to make if Obama won the election. I was actually quite amused at the number of people who were given quite a jolt from the title of my last video about Romney winning. I thought people would immediately see that I was being purposely shocking with the title, but some of you who were overseas and some of your kids thought Romney did actually win, despite it being posted before the election. I do apologize for that, but on the flip side, at least one person said that they went to the polls because they decided that the result I was describing was way too frightening to them. I knew even when making that video that Obama would probably win, but like I wrote in the description, I didn't want to make that video if it did happen. While those of us who actually believed the polling before the election weren't terribly surprised at the results, Romney supporters were shocked. And they weren't afraid to unleash their anger on any handy target, including me. No matter who won, there was going to be a lot of bitterness. I would have been upset if Romney won too, of course, but the kind of nonsense that I saw from conservatives was really disappointing, and just further underscored that politics is only going to get uglier for the next 4 years. I'm not talking about the birthers, and the people that told me Obama's in league with the Muslim Brotherhood, and that this was the last free election this country would ever have. This is just sheer idiocy, and there will always be idiots, so that didn't worry me at all. No, what was more disheartening was that nearly every Facebook post I saw from conservatives, even from people I consider friends, referenced how Democrats just want free stuff, and how Democrats are primarily freeloaders, and how most decent, hardworking people vote Republican. I tried to actually reason with some of these people and see if I could figure out if there was some hyperbole going on there, but there wasn't. Democrats as societal parasites has now become a standard Republican talking point. This is not a healthy road to be headed down. Before the election, they complained about my emphasizing things like abortion rights, marriage equality, and letting tax cuts for the wealthy expire. These weren't things I was assigning to every individual Republican as a personality flaw, and these were all policies that were written right into their candidate's platform, so they had no way of saying that it wasn't the actual truth about what they were voting for. I live in a county of over 1 million people, with the second highest household income in the country, and we voted overwhelmingly for Obama. So when they tell me that we're voting for the benefit of the lazy, I assume there has to be some extreme cognitive dissonance there. Or maybe they think none of us care about our own well-being. Of course, when the right-wing pundits become as unhinged as they did during this election cycle, maybe they thought they would have some intellectual backup. Based on the track record of their pundits this year, though, I would dispute that. Karl Rove begged Fox News to uncall Ohio, even after it was clear that Obama had won it. Rush Limbaugh went ballistic on his show, and Sean Hannity was so chastened that he actually changed his position on immigration reform. You see, this is how we get things done that we want to get done. We need some sort of sensible immigration reform. Many of the more conservative Republicans see it as a non-starter and simply want to deport everyone back. Getting 30% of the fast-growing Hispanic vote is a quick way to get their attention, and now they may work with us. The same thing is happening with same-sex marriage, with Maryland, Maine, and Washington State approving it, and Minnesota rejecting an attempt to ban it. Even Republican strategist Alex Castellanos said on election night on CNN that they can't be the party that thinks one of the biggest problems is there's too much love in the world. I still see some Republicans saying they would rather stand on principle and lose elections than to budge on this issue. And to that I say, well, okay. Speaking of pundits, I've mentioned Nate Silver's 538 blog a couple times before. He takes all the polls, economic data, and other factors and predicts election results based on them. In 2008, he was 49 of 50, missing only Indiana. This year, he was 50 for 50. A lot of the Republican predictions that I heard were based on literally not much more rigorous analysis than statements about how Obama really sucks as a president, and therefore there's no way he's going to be reelected. Until they start turning to real experts instead of the right-wing echo chamber for predictions, all of the negative election results will befuddle them. I could go on and on about statistics, but I'll save that for another video. I know you like it when I talk nerdy to you.